dogs with butts?
I believe so, because they're
also
little,
can't
so they can
outrun anything.
go into holes and
I
stuff.
can't just stop. I think most of them have those,
No,
Josh.
but like that one's got a leftist and a rightist, and
I think what Josh is trying to say is badonkadonk, but I don't think he's going to say that. Making sure there was an SD card in there.
Oh.
Eric is good at his job. Sometimes
Had to make sure. Fine. All right.
keep him on his
Producer
toes.
Eric.
No, I'm watching.
Well, thanks for pressing play on the On Air, Off Air podcast. You're in for a great time as you hang out with some familiar voices, maybe faces, to hear more of what you hear on the air, but in a crazier, longer space off air. Thus in the name. Hanging out here with Hailey from the afternoons.
Hi.
We have Chad from the morning show. And Josh from the morning show.
Who are you?
Welcome, friends. Oh, yeah. I'm Hannah from the morning show.
I
Thanks
feel
for
like
that.
I don't belong here.
Yeah, you're
no, it's okay. We've opened the door.
I feel ganged up on.
We're all
tricked you
awake.
here.
Jay, where are you?
We've all been wide awake for hours. What time did you get up today?
Yes.
You don't want to know.
I do,
And
actually. That's
You'll
why I
be
asked.
jealous.
It's a Festivus.
You'll be
against
jealous.
Speaking of morning show things, we are doing a morning show norm during the On Air, Off Air episode here. It's called Someone Had to Go First. And it's all about discovering creatively what Adam and Eve had to figure out on their own as the first human guinea pigs, if that makes sense.
Nice.
So y'all have an advantage on me again on this.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that makes it fun because we
Okay.
either get to make fun of you or you get to one up us every single time.
This
And
probably isn't an
It's probably going to be the first one.
It's probably not that.
it's probably not that. But what's
Trust
great.
no one.
What's great is they haven't seen any of these things we're going to talk through.
Okay.
And neither has it been heard across Central Ohio. So anyone listening right
these are all
now,
new?
this is new concepts.
Oh, boy.
Of Adam and Eve had to go first, or someone had to go first.
So before we do this, can can you guys tell me one that you have talked about on the show?
Yes. So we talked about someone had to experience the first snow. So
Okay.
Adam and Eve experiencing snow for the first time.
Yeah.
And Adam thinking it was dandruff and thinking Eve was gross.
Like, how do you say that to your wife? Like the first guy to say those kinds of things. Like, maybe you were born with it.
Yeah.
Honey.
Or maybe it's Maybelline
Yeah,
dry
for a
on your
while,
scalp.
Scalp is
Exactly.
dry.
For a while, they called it Maybelline. They're like, we need one syllable, snow. So there it is.
So are you guys ready to go through our countdown of 5 things someone had to go first? That someone being actually 2 someones, Adam and Eve.
I don't know why I feel
All right,
nervous.
here we go.
But
Do
yeah.
it.
So producer Eric is changing the
Wow.
screen for us here.
Oh,
This is
nice.
amazing. Look at this. When did we get that?
I know, we're fancy. So someone had to go first. If you're listening, you can't see this, but if you're on YouTube,
Geez, Adam's built.
If you're
I know, I was
listening
gonna say.
and you want to go
Eve
watch it,
is
the
a
River Now
ginger.
Yeah.
YouTube page is where this would exist, right?
yes. And here's the thing. You're going to be wondering, why is that Adam and Eve? It is represented in this picture here. Is the only royalty-free picture I could find. But I didn't feel like I was copying somebody's work without asking.
Okay, that's
them.
fine. All right. So she's abiding by all the standard laws.
Yeah.
If you're listening, it's very Adam and Evie.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
So,
what you'd
there we
find
go.
in your typical kid's
Lots
picture
of
Bible.
leaves appropriately placed.
Just the redhead throws me off, but that's fine. So someone had to go first. Are you ready for number 5? Starting with facial hair.
Facial hair.
Had to experience. That's up to you. Somebody had to experience the first facial hair.
Well, I mean, that's it. First of all, if this is so funny, like they wake up one morning and you know, Eve is looking at Adam and he's got like the stubble going. And she's like, your hairline is invading.
You got
Like that stuff that was on your head, now it's on your face.
It's on your chin. Did you eat something funny?
And who decided to cut it or trim it?
Well, I mean, if they don't like change, you know, maybe they're just, I got to get rid of this. And then it came back.
Even going forward into like that whole experience, Adam and Eve have kids and they're multiplying the earth, and then people get a beard and they show up and they're like, no, I'm your cousin.
Yeah.
No, you don't. No, you're not. My cousin has a face that's naked. You got a lot of trust issues.
Well,
back in
because you
this
see
time.
those videos of like dads who
Yes.
their kids have only ever seen them with beards, and then they shave and their kids are terrified.
Yep.
This would be like the
Yeah.
opposite.
When we had kids, I knew exactly that was the moment that I was going to have a beard for the rest of
your life.
childhood.
Right.
Because they were terrified of you without one.
No, they would be.
They would be.
I'm locking
Would
it in.
we all be?
I'm terrified of
Oh,
him
yeah.
now.
Oh, yeah.
So your kids have never seen you without a beard?
Not, I mean, in pictures.
Yeah, but not in person.
I wouldn't walk in a room and be like, hi, I'm your dad.
The other
Don't do that anyway.
never.
With or without the
The other
beard.
piece about this is what you just said right when Hannah mentioned it is what if he's looking over at her and like, what's this? Pew! And he pulls like on her chin.
Yeah.
You know,
On
and you're
her
like,
chin.
Whoa, come on.
back
It
off.
happened.
Come on, Hannah. It happens. We can stop the ruse. They know.
This was before shit was invented. It's okay.
Yeah, there were no tweezers. Like, yikes.
Imagine just
Ugh,
two little
the
things that
frustration.
take forever.
Adam's grubby, dirty hands.
Ugh. All
Needed
right.
a moist towel.
That would have been odd.
Well, it doesn't sound like a pleasant experience. So someone had
Wow.
to go first with the facial
What a
hair.
change.
So if that was number 5, let's see where number 4 takes us here. The first dream.
Oh my word.
And this means falling asleep dream, not like I
Yeah.
had a dream once. I had a dream. I had a dream.
Can you imagine, like, she wakes up and she's instantly mad at Adam because he didn't put the toilet seat down.
Yes.
And he doesn't know why. And she's
He
like,
doesn't
"You
know
didn't-
what that is.
You didn't do, and he's like, I didn't do what? She's like, you didn't put the toilet seat down. He's like, what is that?
Yeah.
And she's like, you know. And he's
Yeah.
like, I don't feel like this actually ever happened.
There would be no context for this didn't happen
Yeah.
because
It's a
now,
memory you have.
yeah, even now it's like I get mad at my husband. I know it was just a dream, but I'm still feeling the feelings.
Yeah.
Can't help it.
Right.
But she didn't know.
Imagine thinking every dream was real, was real life.
Yeah, and then you have to decide which reality is more realer. Which
Oh,
one?
tripping.
Yeah.
Broke my brain.
Right, the one where
Yeah.
you're floating around and flying through the sky, or the one where you
would
have to
hope for
watch
that one.
You watch Adam's beard grow.
I like the flying one.
And then
What
the
a
way
joy.
they deal with their stress and frustration, if they're like me, they eat things. And then Eve is like, I got it. How do I do it?
Well, that's what got him in that
Hand me-
position in the first
Hand me
place.
that apple.
It's not on this list, but the first diabetes, it might be something
Right.
we
Wow.
That hurt.
Wow.
That one was painful.
All right, then we'll move past number 4. Number 3 on someone had to go first. The first pug.
What?
What happened? What happened, little
The
buddy?
first pug.
What
And
happened
I'm
to
not
your
talking
face?
wolves. I'm not talking a German Shepherd or a lab. And you know why this is on the list, Hailey.
I love
The
pugs.
very
They're my
first
favorite.
pug. Now, we're talking Adam and Eve, but just imagine if they were the first ones to experience a pug.
Yeah.
What's the reaction? A traveling potato?
They're like, this tiny animal's face has been smashed. What happened?
Adam, what did you do?
Who did this?
Adam was sitting there watching the dog run around. He's like, well, we've called these things dog. And then he ran into a brick and he's like, pug.
Yeah.
That's the noise it made when he hit the rock.
It went. Yeah.
So the first reaction is a little, it's not as cute
I
as
think
I
it's
thought
like,
you
oh,
would say.
what happened to you? You
Yeah.
poor thing.
So
Like
you
that-
think it's cute because it's so ugly?
that's why I find pugs cute.
Okay,
Yeah.
I thought you were going to be like, "Ooh, you sweet little puppers."
Well,
you're
they
so
probably
cute."
went up to it and they started to try to stretch his face out. They're like, here, come here.
Yeah.
No, I think it would be concern. It'd be pure concern because if you're used to seeing wolves and animals with the snouts, you'd just be like, what's happened to you?
How do we
Plus,
name
he's got
this
like a
thing?
perpetual snore going.
Yeah.
It's like, what? Something's happening.
I do that sometimes.
Do we think it was just used as, I'm sorry, Hailey, as bait? Because it's
Oh
not like
my
it can,
word.
it's not like it
No.
can run. It can't outrun anything.
There's probably somebody who knows the breeding history of these dogs and how they
Well,
got here.
they
So
were
I'm sure this
bred-
isn't exactly biblically
Yeah.
accurate.
I know. This is all in the creative space.
Because they were like royal. Like that's in the real, I'm pretty sure that they were
pugs
bred
were?
in China
Interesting.
or
Really?
somewhere like that. Because it's the wrinkles in their skin were bred to look like Chinese characters, I think.
Oh.
Like
What
for
incarnation
writing.
are you speaking
And
of?
they were like
She knows her
royal
pugs.
Well, that's fine.
dogs. Like they were
Huh.
they were kind of revered.
I love that
Hailey
it's like,
Google stuff.
what's the dog that the queen, the corgi?
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Why is it all these little like
Those
chomper
are-
dogs? Not these.
Well,
I
corgis
could
were
save
for
your life.
hunting, so I
What?
think that was
The dogs
did
with
hear
butts?
that.
I believe so because
They
they're
also
little,
can't
so they can
outrun
like
anything.
go into holes and
I
stuff.
can't just stop. I think most of them have those.
No,
Josh.
but like, that one's got a leftist and a rightist, and
So now,
think what Josh is trying to say is badonkadonk, but I don't think he's going to say that. Just
Fluffer butt.
anyway.
Yeah, the things you can say off air. It's great.
That's the
That became
point.
more of a question of what would Adam and Eve think if they saw dogs
Yeah,
now.
more
Yeah.
like an oops, and I'm so sorry.
I stand by concern. Yeah, concern.
All right, number 2, we're making our way. The common cold.
Okay, so this has to be like your first runny nose. I imagine that scene in The Grinch where he's like, I'm leaking. I'm like, yes, what's happening? My insides are coming out. Eve, help. No.
Yes.
And like, think about how big a baby's men are with their colds now, and we know what they are.
I'm still upset about the one I had last year.
Adam,
I'm still tired.
I think, would have thought he was dying.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Like, this is the end for me, Eve. Hold my hand.
And
Absolutely.
she's like, praise be. Put him out of his misery.
Eve
is
is
horrible.
like birthing children to
Yes.
multiply the entire earth, and he's
With
got the
shouting
no,
out.
with no,
medication.
she's feeling it all.
Yeah.
Eve, can you go bring me the eucalyptus leaf? It makes my nose feel better. Can you go get that for me, please?
Wow, I want to punch
I know
him
you're
now.
pregnant,
Yeah.
doll, but can you go get that?
Anyway.
Any
Oh,
other
now my
thoughts?
insides came on the outside. That's weird.
Ew.
Yeah, plus, like, if you squish a bug or whatever, it's just juices. And if that starts coming out of your nose for the first time, you're like, oh no, my
Yes.
exoskeleton has failed.
Oh, no,
Yes.
I'm a bug.
Oh, how
Just a big old bug.
confusing.
I'm a bug, that's a pug, we are done for.
Yeah, you start
Nothing to
going back
sneeze at,
to
guys.
that place to talk to God. You're like, what have you done? What is this? What's in
You
here?
didn't tell me about this part.
Did I do something to make you mad?
Maybe it's possible. If you keep reading.
Pre-Apple,
Yeah.
post-Apple.
Most of these things felt very post-Apple.
I mean, Hailey would say the pug was pre-Apple because that's perfect, right? That,
Perfection.
Yeah.
yeah.
Maybe not for the pug because they can't breathe.
And to be clear,
right,
we're talking
but-
about the apple that Eve ate, not the evil Apple Empire phones, computers.
Oh,
Thanks
because
for
that's where all of our
clarifying.
I have
Yeah.
one. I'm just kidding. I just
We
wanted to-
needed
It's
that.
okay.
We
Glad
needed
you
that
explained that.
clarification.
Are you guys ready for number 1?
I can't wait. Yes.
It's been an
because all these
amazing
have been
count.
Is
really
this
good.
number 1 on purpose because it's the best one?
You know, it started off that way, but we'll see. Because these really could go in any order. They're
Okay.
just 5 things that are like, somebody had to try this first.
All right. Number 1.
The
No.
first, I'm
Nope.
fine.
Nope.
So this is, I'm assuming, like, what's wrong, sweetie? Nothing. I'm fine.
Exactly.
Because the first time he believed her.
Oh, yeah.
The first he was like, oh, great. And then he went off
Yeah.
and he was playing with the pug.
Don't walk into it, Josh.
No, but he did.
Okay, but again, if this is pre-Apple, she meant it. She wasn't lying.
I'm pretty sure
We're
this
gonna
one's
go
post-Apple.
All right, all right.
And I'm
My
going to set a
spirit,
scene.
my spirit feels very dark right now.
It's
This
a
is post-Apple.
Direct result
Imagine
of the
this.
fall.
Yeah. Imagine this. You're Adam and Eve, post-Apple.
Right.
Adam has spent a week on his back from this cold.
She air
Eve
quoted
has
everyone.
been tending the land. She's probably pregnant with quadruplets because
Maybe.
she's multiplying lots. And she's doing everything.
Mm-hmm.
Adam has the audacity at the end to request her to make him a meal, a sandwich per se. She's a
Oh,
little
no, he
feisty.
didn't.
He asks, "You good?" "I'm fine."
Right.
And he goes on his merry way.
He's like, good. Make sure mayo and extra tomatoes, please.
Wow. What comes next? What comes after the
Well-
I'm fine?
First of all, we know that she was full of patience and love because that was not the first murder. That was Cain and Abel.
Fair.
Beyond that, Adam lived to 930 years old.
Oh, he either endured a lot or
Uh-huh.
she was a sweet lady.
I think it was the latter. That's terrifying. Just seeing it on the screen is terrifying. I'm fine. Mm-mm.
Thanks for coming down this creative trail with me as we think through some of the things that humanity had to go through for the very first time. Adam and Eve, you're troopers. But here's my request. If you have a thought of, some human had to go through this for the first time ever on their own, will you write it in the comments if you're on YouTube, if you're on River Now? Or will you comment on the River Facebook page if you're listening on a podcast? What did Adam and Eve have to experience first?
What if they were the first ones to be requested to comment on something and they're like,
Gonna chisel again.
That's meta.
Yeah, that's too trippy for me right now. And so we're going to end it there. And just remember, everything you're going through, someone had to go first. Thanks for listening.
This podcast is another River Impact production. You can find more podcasts like this one at riverradio.com. And if you like what you're hearing, make sure to subscribe wherever you're listening now. And be sure to tell a friend so they can listen too.